friends, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to continue with our chapter Chemical Coordination and Control. So let's get started. The another endocrine gland which we are going to study today is adrenal gland. Okay. We know that it is present in the anterior part of our kidney and it is a paired gland because there are always two kidney in a human body, hence it is paired. Okay. So it is also known as suprarenal or emergency gland, and this gland has dual origin, both mesodermal and ectodermal. Okay, now the adrenal gland it is divided into two parts. The outer part is known as cortex, and the inner part is known as medulla. The cortex is mesodermal in origin, and the medulla is ectodermal. The maximum part of this gland is constituted by the cortex part, that is 75% of it. Okay, and the medulla constitutes only 25% of it. Now, let's study about cortex in detail. It secretes about 20 types of steroid hormones which are known as corticoids. And there are three types of corticoids. One is mineralocorticoid, glucocorticoid, and gonadocorticoids or known as sex corticoids. Okay. The mineralocorticoids are also known as zona glomerulosa. Okay. And it is the outermost part of the cortex region. Okay. The glucocorticoids are also known as zona fasciculata and it is the middle part. And the gonadocorticoids are also known as zona reticularis and it is the innermost part of cortex. The mineralocorticoids, example of them is aldosterone. Okay, we know that this aldosterone it is responsible for regulation of salt and water in our body. We will study about this hormone in detail when we will study about the urine formation in human body. Now, the glucocorticoids, they are responsible for carbohydrate metabolism in our body. Also responsible for protein or fat metabolism. Okay. This hormone is of three types. That is cortisol, cortisone, and corticosterone. Right. And cortisol is an immunosuppressor, means it suppresses our immune system. It maintains the cardiovascular system and it is anti-allergic in nature. We are talking about the cortisol. Okay. So, it is responsible for formation of RBC in our body. Now the last one, that is sex corticoids. They are present in the innermost layer of the innermost layer of cortex. Okay. It secretes androgen, estrogen, and the examples are androstenedione and dehydroepiandrosterone, estrogen, etc. Now, some diseases which are related to our adrenal gland. The first is Addison's disease. Okay, this is the disease which is caused when the adrenal cortex is destroyed, right? And it leads to tuberculosis. In this case, the glucocorticoid mineralocorticoids decreases and the skin becomes bronze like, right? The blood sugar level decreases and also sodium decreases and potassium increases in the body, in the plasma. Okay, and in urine the sodium increases. Okay, this is important that in our urine the sodium level is increased and in plasma, blood plasma, the sodium level is decreased, means sodium is released out of the body. It causes nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea in the person suffering from this disease. Now, this is the function of aldosterone, that is, when potassium level increases, sodium level decreases, the aldosterone is stimulated in the renal tubule of our kidneys. Okay. This leads to reabsorption of sodium and excretion of potassium from our body, and hence water osmosis occurs. And how this aldosterone is stimulated? The angiotensin 1 converts into angiotensin 2 and we are going to study about the next endocrine gland, that is pancreas. They are endodermal in origin. Okay. Now, they are the heterocrine glands or the mixed glands or composite glands. Right. It is because In the pancreas, 1 to 2 million patches of cells are found which are known as islets of Langerhans. And these cells are of three types: alpha cells, beta cells, and delta cells. Okay, so we know that alpha cells they secrete glucagon, the beta cells secretes insulin. Okay, and both of these hormones they are peptide hormones. The glucagon means they both have opposite functions. Okay, glucagon is responsible for increase in blood sugar. On the other hand, insulin is responsible for decrease in the blood sugar. It is secreted by the liver hepatocytes. What are hepatocytes? They are the cells of our liver. Okay. The function of glucagon is to convert the glycogen into glucose, and hence it increases the blood sugar level. Hence it is known as negative feedback. Okay, because we do not need much sugar in the blood. We need that there should be less amount of sugar in our blood. Hence this is known as negative feedback. Now about the insulin, they are secreted by the pancreas, and they are responsible for glucose homeostasis. What does it means? That they break the glucose and like they break the glucose into glycogen. Okay, hence they decrease the blood sugar level. Now, what is diabetes mellitus? In diabetes mellitus, the insulin level decreases. Okay, and it also means it is a symptom of diabetes mellitus that excessive thirst occur, that is also known as polydipsia. This is not important. Now, the delta cell of the pancreas they secrete somatostatin. The somatostatin, on the other hand, it has a unique function that it regulates both of these cells, and also it is responsible for. It has a negative feedback on our digestive system, and it is responsible for inhibition of our digestion. Okay, so it inhibits digestive secretion. Now, our gonads, that is testes and ovaries, they are also the endocrine glands. Testes, they secrete androgen, that is also that the type of androgen that is testosterone, which is secreted by testes. Okay, now it works, means it has dual functions. One is it works on CNS, and it is responsible for libido, which is the male character. Okay, like the male external appearance and all, its Adam's apple, its harsh voice and all these all. Okay, then the it the other function of testosterone is it works on the anterior pituitary and is responsible for secretion of LH, that is luteinizing hormone. The ovary, it secretes estrogen, progesterone, and relaxin. Estrogen, it works on FSH, uh, and progesterone, it is also known as LH. They have almost similar functions. Now, the relaxin, it is secreted during the delivery. Okay, it is responsible for the relaxation of the muscles, which helps in the delivery of the baby. Now, these both hormones are, LH and relaxin, they are secreted by the corpus luteum. Now we are done about all the endocrine glands of our body, and now we are going to study about the non-endocrine glands, but though they secrete the hormones. Okay, the first one is liver. Okay, the liver secretes a protein which is known as angiotensinogen. Now, the kidney, it has the juxtaglomerular apparatus. Okay, this part of the kidney, it secretes renin. We will study in detail about it on the urine formation part of our kidney. Okay, now it secretes renin, and the renin, it helps to convert angiotensinogen to angiotensin 1. Now, in the adrenal cortex, because of the aldosterone, means the adrenal cortex, we studied about it that it secretes aldosterone. Okay, so the aldosterone help in conversion of angiotensin 1 to angiotensin 2. And how does it converts this to this? It works on the DCT, and it helps in reabsorption of the sodium, and hence it is converted. Okay, Now, the next is our heart. Okay, the heart has arterial walls, means the walls of the atrium. Okay, it secretes ANF, that is atrial natriuretic factor. Okay, this hormone is responsible for decrease of our blood pressure, and hence the blood vessels dilate. In this way, the deoxygenated blood it flows from heart, means out of the heart, and the BP increases. The ANF it is responsible for decrease in our blood pressure. Hence it dilates the blood vessels. Okay. Now, how does this hormone is secreted? When the deoxygenated blood flows into the heart, the BP increases. And hence in this way the ANF work. Means at this time the ANF work and it decreases the blood pressure. Okay. Now, the GI tract means gastrointestinal tract. Okay. It secretes these four types of hormones. One is gastrin, secretin, GIP, and CCK. The gastrin it is secreted by the pyloric part of our stomach, and it is also a part of digestive juice. Okay. It increases the HCl and pepsinogen. This is its function. Okay, these are important. Now the secretin. It is secreted by the duodenum or jejunum part of the small intestine. It increases water bicarbonate. Okay. Now the if the HCl increases to neutralize, this secretin has the function to neutralize the stomach. Okay, by secretion of bile, water, and bicarbonates. It is secreted in case the HCl is higher in amount. Okay, so this hormone is the first discovered hormone. It is secretin. Okay, the GIP, that is gastric inhibitory peptide. It inhibits the gastric secretion, means the secretion of gastric juices. Now CCK, that is cholecystokinin. Cholecystokinin. Okay, it is secreted by the duodenum and it is responsible for release of bile juice and pancreatic juice. Now the kidney. Now the last is the kidney. Okay, it secretes calcitrol. The function of calcitrol is it is responsible for means it secretes calcium ion and potassium absorption. Okay, it is responsible for absorption of calcium and potassium. Hence it is responsible for bone formation. It increases the formation of bones in our body. The JGA cells of our kidney, that are juxtaglomerular apparatus, this full form. Okay, now, they secrete two types of hormone. One is renin and the other is erythropoietin. And erythropoietin is responsible for increase in RBC formation. And the renin, we study about it that renin converts angiotensinogen to angiotensin 1. Now, all the hormones which we studied yet, they are all the peptide hormones. Okay. We also studied about steroid and all. Now, we should also know that these all, okay, these are non-endocrine tissues, okay. Now, the hormones which are secreted by the non-endocrine tissues, they are known as growth factors. There are two types of hormones. One are lipid soluble ones and the other are lipid insoluble ones. The lipid solubles are estrogen, testosterone, and they directly enter the cell. Means they are known as intracellular messengers. Okay, intracellular means inside the cells. They work slowly but long lastingly. They are all steroid hormones. Examples are iodothyronine, and they have cumulative effect and they have biochemical actions. The examples are here aldosterone, cortisol, and all non peptide hormones, and they are all water insoluble. Okay, estrogen, progesterone are also example of this, right? Means they do not need any messenger to enter inside the cell. Now, about the lipid insoluble cell. Now, why they are called lipid insoluble? Because the outer layer of the cell, mean the cell membrane, it is made up of lipid. Hence, if these hormones are not soluble in lipid, they cannot enter directly into the cells. Hence, they need a messenger which can help them to travel inside the cell. So, they do not enter directly into the target cell. They generate a second messenger. The example of these second messengers are they can be it can be calcium ion also IP3 or cyclic AMP, that is also known as CAMP. Now, examples are peptides, polypeptides, proteins, catecholamine. They are present in tissue fluids. Okay, means these second messengers they are present in tissue fluids. This effect is known as cascade effect. It amplifies the action of the hormone. Means the hormone in this way, which enters in this way, it works more efficiently. Now, example is adrenaline, vasopressin, insulin, and all other hormones which are peptide hormones. Okay, there are many in this category. Now, they need extracellular receptors also. The example of an extracellular receptor is FSH. Now, we are done with this chapter. Thanks for watching. Bye.